Hola, once again welcome to SOLSOFT.inc channel. Good evening, my name is Saul. In this tutorial we're going to look at the pen tool. We recently introduced my Illustrator episodes, and in this episode we're going to look at all the tools of Adobe Illustrator CC, and we explain them in details. Firstly, we dealt with the quick selection tools, and we saw them in my Illustrator episode 1, and in episode 2 we are going to look at the pen tool design, the pen tool and how it's used to design some of the still images, some of the still graphics. We're going to use some of the shapes. For good explanation, we better look at some of the shapes. This pen tool is a fundamental tool that is used in most of the artwork and projects. Most of the designers know what we're talking about, and if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and to drop in your comments for more of these tutorials. They're a bit elaborative and they give basic information. We're going to look at these shapes, and we're going to look at the pen tool. We are looking at Adobe Illustrator episodes, and this is episode 2, and we are looking at the Creative Cloud version CC 2020. The pen tool, if you take a look at the left hand side of the palette, we're seeing that it has a short key, and that is P. Press P to access the pen tool. Down it has a curvature tool, and this shift plus the wavy hyphen. But up, we're going to look at the pen tool for today, and just click on it to activate it. Some of these shapes, we have a rectangle, we have a circle, we have an arc, we have a polygon, and we have a sector, then we have a star. These shapes, the reason why we selected all these shapes is that they have different formations and shape outlines, and if you take a look at all of them, they're a bit they're good. And for all the beginners, if you want to learn more of these tools of how to use a pen tool, these are the basic shapes that you would like to use. They will help you carve and shape out the best, and they will help you master the pen tool and how it's used. The pen tool has a drop down menu. The moment you right the long press the mouse button, you'll see that you have a pen tool up, this highlight in blue, and then we have an anchor point tool, that is shift plus C, a shortcut. How to access the anchor point tool, we shall say what it does. First and foremost, we shall take a look at this rectangle. We're going to use this pen tool to redraw the shape. The pen tool is used to do a lot of things. The moment you drop, you press a button on the mouse, you see that you've dropped a blue point, and the moment I wave it, try to shape to move the pen tool, it tries to draw a line. It tries to draw a line that is adjustable. We can see that I can drop it at any point. It can expand, it can contract, it can move. You can move it at all angles, that is 360 degrees. It depends on what shape you want to draw. It is used to draw shapes. Most of these shapes, most of the pen tool is used in Adobe Photoshop to remove to cut out the shape outline. Mostly if you want to remove the background. If you didn't see most of the tutorials, we have used this pen tool. You can see in our previous tutorials that are well explained. We shall drop in one of the corners of the rectangle, and to move it in a straight line, according to the direction, you long press shift key button. It will help you move it in a straight line. As you see, it moves in only straight lines. So let's take an aim to the upper point. The moment you reach the end point of the rectangle, you see another dropped point, then drop it you can press again we press. We want to draw another shape. The pen tool is used to draw shapes and to also make outlines, making joined shapes and points. We shall join, and after joining, I just move the pen tool line, extrapolated it to all points of the rectangle as they were selected. Then I'm going to press V. That one's the quick the selection tool to deselect the pen tool as it had been in selection. Now you'll imagine that I've made another shape. As you see, I'm clicking and dragging it. I've created another shape. So this shape, we can click on it, select outline, click on none, then we can go to effect, select stylize, drop shadow. Formed another shape similar to the one in previous view, similar rectangle, similar shape. Then let's go to another shape, and that's a square, a circle. Press P, a short key. You see that there's a point that remember a circle has 4 points. We join 4 sectors to form a circle, 4 quadrants that form up a circle. But at each point of those sectors, we have a center point of the circle that marks the radius from the center to the upper part, then from the upper part to the left part. Then we can, if to be sure of what we say, let me just shift Ctrl R to open up the ruler guide. Then I can press it to the center. I can also bring another ruler from the left side and drop it to the center. You'll see that I've managed to create 4 quadrants of this circle. The first quadrant forms a sector, the second forms a sector, third, and like that. So bisecting the 4 points, the 2 points, the circle into 2 pieces, we shall be having 4 quadrants. So I'm talking about this, that at the point to the left where the line starts to bisect the radius, we shall have when we press letter P is where we shall have a point. The moment I drag the pen tool toward that center to the ruler, you see that we're having a marked point in all these shape sectors. But the moment I press amidst, you have nothing. So a shape, 4 quadrants are made, as you see. The moment I press to the left, to the right, there are marked points. It means that it's where I can put the pen tool, drop, so that I can start to mark the exact point. Alright, so I move it to the extreme point at the upper part. Then I long press the left mouse button, I drag. We shall see that I'm trying to make a shape. The moment to release, you drag and release. It depends on the exact point that you to move the shape. But I'm trying to copy the image in the background. So I'll release the button, the mouse button, and move to the next point. The moment I drop, I'll have made the moment I reach this point, I'll have made another shape, right? Then I move down to the bottom part. Again, I try to shape out the circle, and then I join it. Now we shall see that we have anchor points. The moment I click on the selection tool, I see that I've created a shape trying to resemble a circle, but not as that perfect. To be exact, you can of course try to correct it. Press P again to open pen tool, click on any of these points. We click on any of these points, clicking on the direct selection tool. Then to select one of these shapes, these extended lines that help shape a circle, press Alt and then drag. The more you drag, the more you try to leave the circle circular points, and we are trying to create a perfect circle, even though it won't be that perfect. But this is all these are shortcuts that I use in the pen tool. This is the pen tool, like that. So I'm having another point here. Press Alt, then try to shape it. We are trying to reshape so that we can have something similar to a circle. Yes, something like that. Press V to escape. So we shall manage to create another shape like this. Remember, we cancel the outline, then we shall go to effect again. We shall say apply drop shadow. We shall create such a shape like that. We shall say that we are using a pen tool to create more shapes. I could initially select this triangle, I press Alt, I drag it. You see that I've created another shape. Right, the same way to the rectangle, I click on it, click Alt, drag it. You shall see that I'm creating more shapes. But there's another way. Another way of creating these more shapes is that we use the pen tool. The aim was to learn how to use this pen tool, so it is easy. I could create another shape. As you see, it is perfect circle, right? Moreover, not that perfect, but it's a perfect one. As you see, we've been able to use a pen tool to design it. Another thing is that we have another shape down here. It's called the sector. When we select the sector, go to layers, we shall see that it's one in selection. When you see that blue mark, it indicates selected art. That click to select art, so I can lock it so that I cannot move it or tamper with this arrangement. I may not want to distort its shape outline, so I click P for pen tool. I click on these points as we did in the previous shape that was a circle. Click on one of these points, drag and drop the blue point of the shape outline. Try to draw something like that. We are trying to draw something that is in resemblance to the shape we had. Drag and drop the shape. We managed to create such a shape using a pen tool. Or else you could use the same method as we said. Click on the shape, click Alt, drag it. We have managed to create very many shapes. This one, we shall click on it, select outline, click on none, go to effect, select effect, apply drop shadow. We're trying to create a difference between these shapes and elaborate more. As we've moved to the third shape, we've seen. Let's move to the arc. This fourth shape was an arc. There's another way, also similar way to create an arc. Remember, the reason as why I locked this shape is that I didn't want to distort it or to directly complete it. If I do not select it and lock it as you see it, if I do not lock it, this is what's going to happen. Press P for a pen tool. You see that I've marked active all the points of the arc. The moment I tap on it, on any of these points, trying to draw a shape outline of this arc, the pen tool selects the point, and the moment I click on it, it wants to complete the shape. That's why I had to lock it first in the previous section, so that I may not be able to tamper with the shape. The moment I click anywhere, I'm going to complete this shape. What I didn't want, I just wanted to select it and redraw an arc, not just creating a section. So I'm going to redo. So select this shape and lock it. Just click, you see a blue marked point that indicates a selected art, then lock it. The moment I lock it, I can no longer interfere with this outline. So click on the start point with the pen tool, click on the end point, drag and try to draw something similar to the shape in question. Click escape to select the outline. So we've created another arc. I can drag and drop. This is it. Or you can unlock this shape, click on it, You can also press Alt and then drag. We've managed to create another outline like that. So we move to the next shape. Again, we have to lock it first. Put it in selection, lock it, press P for a pen tool, click on the start point, drag to the next point, drag to the third point, drag to the fourth point, drag to the fifth point, drag to drag to the fourth point, drag to the fourth point, drag to the fifth point, drag to the sixth point, and eventually close the object. We've again managed to draw another shape layer from the one in question. Have it selected, first unlock it, have it selected, press Alt, drag and drop. We shall see that we can create more shapes. So this one, click on it, select outline, click on none, go to effect, apply drop shadow. We've created such objects using a pen tool, and we also use another option of drag and drop, pressing Alt on the keyboard, dragging and dropping using the left mouse button. Move to another shape. This is a star. The reason as why we select all these shapes, because we want to do as many shapes as we can and show how the pen tool is used. We're going to release a list of all the shortcuts that are used in the pen tool so that we can manage to grasp them at hand to speed up our work and to ease the flow of designing. We want to be as quick as we can. Press P, select this, Alt, press one of these corners. We are going to just follow up the selected points at the corners so that we mark the start and the ending point. As you see, it's as easy. Click on just drag anywhere you would wish to stop, and the moment you want that selected point to be marked a selected point, just drag and drop. Again, click on the mouse button to have the point in selection, and eventually have it joined to the start point. Right, the moment you join, you've created a shape. Click on V to the selection tool. You can see that we've managed to create another shape. Alright, another way is that we can click on the shape in question, press Alt, drag and drop it. This one we shall select it, go to shape outline, fill outline, click on none, go to effect, press apply drop shadow. These are some of the shapes we had today. To learn about more about Adobe After Effects pen tool, you can have all these layers, you can have them painted any colors of your choice. We are trying to show that designing is as good and as easy. The moment you want to have graphics designing, it's as easy. This is Adobe Illustrator CC, and we are trying to use some of the tools, as you see. But we've managed to create a lot of clear artwork. I'm trying to get a distinction among these shapes. Which color should I give? Let me give a gradient. Alright, the arc I cannot give because it's not a complete shape. Alright, we really appreciate for your time, and thanks for watching. Have a good evening. Please do not forget to subscribe and drop in your comments for more videos from SOLSOFT.inc channel. Stay blessed.